Welcome to this week's lesson segment on Weekly Outdoor Plus. Jase Hintz here, ready to give you guys your quick little tip of the week, what's going to help you in the woods. As you can probably recall from last week, we went over your arms and how to position them correctly so that you can hold a lot steadier. And we also went over how to come into your shot, how to pull back and settle down on the shot and everything. And both of those are going to be really key this week because we're going to be talking about your anchor point, which a lot of people struggle with. And a lot of people don't realize that your anchor point is basically another sight that's on your bow. If it's lining up your back sight with your front sight, your peep sight basically, lining those two up, having them correctly surrounding each other is what's going to make you more successful and more consistent shots. You know, you can always make that good 1 out of 5, 3 out of 5. You got to hit them 5 out of 5 to make it really matter because you never know what shot you're going to get when that big buck comes walking. A lot of people go with peep sights, which I highly recommend. Peep sights make it a lot easier. Your object is when you pull back to circle the housing of your peep sight to your housing of your sight. Every sight that you have will have some sort of circle around it, square, whatever it has. You can center that in your peep sight, which will make a more accurate shot as well. Another thing, a lot of people go with kisser buttons. I personally don't shoot one, but I mean, it's a lot of extra thing that will lock in the corner of your mouth. And a lot of people enjoy, having a little extra support so that they know exactly in the same spot. When you pull back, a loop is always very helpful. It'll cut out all your arrow torque, and it's something that you can hook your nice release to and make a more clean shot, even torque on top and bottom of your arrow. Once you have the setup that you prefer, whether it's peep, loop, kisser button, different kinds of peeps, you get one with a tube so it comes back straight all the time, or one like I have here that doesn't have the tube. That's just simply because as long as you have your string stretched out, when you pull back, it'll line up and you won't have to worry about that. The tube will wear down your string faster, where having just a simple peep sight like this that turns correctly every time, you don't have to worry about your string tearing out in the next year or 2 years. It'll be 5-10 years by the time it goes away. So this week, when you pull back, you're going to come down on your shot like I showed you in the previous week. And then when you anchor, you need to have your hand tight up on your face, right underneath your jawbone where it can lock into that notch. And then your string will go right across the absolute tip of your nose. Some people enjoy locking it way back in the corner of their nose, but I find it a lot more consistent on the tip of my nose, making sure it's always in the same spot. Another thing you're going to be doing when you anchor, bring that to your jawbone, tip of your nose, and then you got to make sure your peep sight is correctly aligned so you'll be looking directly through the center of your peep sight. You don't want to have to adjust your anchor point for your peep sight because, again, it won't be a comfortable position and it won't be a position you go back to every single shot. We have different kinds of releases that are going to affect how you shoot. The average hunter, the normal hunter, will be using a normal index finger trigger, kind of like the True Fire I have here. Very nice. It's called the Hardcore. It's their new strap-on. Has a single hook, which is easier to hook onto your loop or your string if you're using a string, compared to the crab claws, easier, cleaner release. When you lock on with that, you're going to lock on below your jaw like we were talking about. A lot of you target shooters or people that don't enjoy shooting with an index finger will be shooting a thumb trigger or even a back tension release. When you do that, it's basically the same place you lock in, except for it'll be the knuckles between your middle finger and your pointer finger, and that's what you'll lock on your jawbone and have in the exact same spot every time. When you get that perfect place to lock it on your face and you line up your nose on the tip of your string, looking through the center of your peep sight, those little things right there are going to make your anchor point 8 times more accurate, and you'll be a lot more happy with how you shoot. When you settle down, when you pull back like we talked 2 weeks ago, settle down, bring your face into your string. You need to make sure that that's when you bury everything in there nice and consistently. If you remember these couple little things, you're going to definitely be a lot better shooter. It's going to help you out. You're not going to miss that big buck or wound them or, get some meat on that table. It's all that matters, right? So, that's what I'm going to tell you this week. Tune in next week. See what I can tell you. Have a good one.